At a distribution channel, you added 80% new agents from tier 2 and tier 3. Are you looking to penetrate such markets with more channel agents? Will this add more pressure on margins?
So we've never really deployed a strategy that is not sustainable, whether to give disproportionate level of commissions or to give a much higher level of IRR than what you're earning from the underlying assets, and so on. It's always a calibrated strategy. In fact, what we are hearing now is that post the surrender charge regulations, there has been some of the large players are talking about reduction in margins. And that's something that we would welcome because it needs to be calibrated. We will continue with our strategy on tier 2 and 3. Tier 2 and 3 is contributing about 2/3 in terms of APE to our overall new business APE, and we remain very gung-ho. So the number of agents that we add, most of them are in tier 2 and 3. Most of the branches of our 600 branches, and out of them, the new branches that we're adding would be the focus will be in tier 2 and 3. These are large areas that are relatively white spaces for us to sensibly reach out and build business over there. And one of the big channels, important channels, is our agency channel.
We have already seen the VBN margins falling, but growth for the business has remained strong. How do you see these numbers and what should investors expect from the business?
Given that we are in a buoyant equity situation, we have strategized this as follows. Number one, growth is important, and hence, as demonstrated in H1, wherein we comfortably grew faster than the sector by about 400 basis points, the private sector, both in Q1 and Q2, that will continue. Number two is that the value of new business will grow. I've said before at about 15 to 17% growth, and we have demonstrated about 17.4% growth in H1. That will also continue. Reason that will continue is that is what will add to our embedded value and will over a period of time unwind to cash. So these will become real profits. So it is important that the quantum of profits is something that we don't say no to because we are tethered to a new business margin. Third will be the new business margin, which will be an outcome. At the same time, I'm not saying that it will be in a free fall situation. There will be a floor to new business margin, but maybe 100, 200 basis points or in that kind of a range. As long as we are growing on value of new business, that's going to be the focus. Last point I want to mention is a very interesting factoid, and that is of the new customers that, or rather of the customers that came were onboarded in H1, 70+% were new to HDFC Life. Now, if we say no to them just because I'm tethered to a particular margin, then those customers are going to go elsewhere. So customer acquisition as a strategy so that down the line I can upsell and cross-sell to those customers also is equally important. So to summarize, top line growth followed by value of new business growth and then new business margins.